My name is Bumi George, aka J Booms. I'm the current CEO of Shredder Gang, a wife and a mom of 2 powerful boys. My favorite part about being a mom is all the love I get to give and receive, and then putting the right values in my children, which in turn gives us a better society. My children are already very vocal about what they want to be when they grow up, seeing that they're only 6 and 4. My first says he wants to be a pilot, just like his dad, and my second says he wants to be a surgeon. And so my goal for them and my dream for them is to get them there the best way possible. Good education is a necessity. My husband and I decided that we were going to start planning from the onset. So we approached Leadway and they gave us 3 plans. We went with the target plan, which is basically setting a certain amount of money as a target. Every month, a certain amount is taken out of our account towards that target. So it instills discipline for us, making sure that we get to that target goal. What I really liked about this particular plan was that there was a protection element to it. So even if life happens, the children are still protected and they still get the target sum for their education. Our children are probably maybe toddler age or early school age. And you know how much you're paying right now. Now imagine in the next 15 to 20 years, how much it would be for them. So start planning now. If you really want to plan and stick to it, getting an education plan is the best way to go. You can contact Leadway Assurance either on Instagram or Twitter, or you can visit their website at www.leadway.com/education to get a call back.
We all have dreams. Dreams to become someone. Not just anyone. Someone like her. And him. Someone like her too. So when life happens and things start to shake a bit, nothing should get in the way of their dreams. Life happens, but that shouldn't affect their dreams. Secure their future with any of the Leadway education plans today.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's program. My name is Mosumola Moma. I'm your host, and this program is powered by Leadway. Thank you so much for joining. Today, we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic, and the topic today is realities of working parents, how to raise kids on a static salary. I'm hoping that people start making comments. I can see people joining in, and I look forward to welcoming you all on board. We have 2 very special guests. I'll be introducing them shortly. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining the call. Thank you so much for joining. Just to talk a bit about the topic, I believe everyone here and maybe most people on this call are salary earners. I just want to ask a question. How many people on this call today have a dynamic salary? I mean, your salary keeps increasing every month or every year. Is there anyone in the house? Is there anybody that is earning a salary that is not static? And even if it's not static, how often does it change? Thank you for joining. We'll just keep encouraging more people to join. Thank you for joining the call. And if you notice, you realize that things have changed in those days where only one person works, because you realize that the economy, a lot of things are happening in the society today, and you need two people. You need people to support you to run the family. So in those days, only one person gets to work, but today we have the father working and the mother also working. In fact, statistics show that over 50% of people, parents are working, and that means that you have to combine work with family, and that also puts a major stress on parents on how to manage the home front and the work and their work basically. But today we have to survive, right? And that's why we are here to listen to our guests, and I'm going to be introducing them shortly. I have two very special guests today. I have Adesua Ewale. She's a sales manager at Leadway Assurance. She's a mom of two kids. One is 5 years old and the other is 10-year old. I also have Benga. I also have Olubenga Oriowo is a relationship manager for high network clients at Leadway Pension. He's a dad of three wonderful boys. One very interesting thing about his kids' name is that they have a rhythm. I have Timmy, Semi, and Demi. So excited to have him. He has three boys. I'm sure he has a lot to tell us about how he's been able to raise his three boys. Timmy, Semi, and Demi. One is 7, and the other is 5, and another is 9. They'll be coming on board shortly. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining the call. It's good to see you, Benga Uriowo, and we're looking forward to having Adesua also on the call.
All right, thank you, Mosmola. Good afternoon,
Yeah,
beautiful people.
thank you so much. Yeah. So, while Adesua, I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you loud and clear. Good afternoon, everyone. Good
Awesome. Thank you
afternoon.
so much for
And
joining
thank
us
you for
on
having me
this.
here.
Thank you
Sorry,
so
let me
much.
correct something you said. One is 5 years old, the
Okay.
other one is 10 months old. 10 months old, not 10 years.
Wow, you see, 10 months old. So I can imagine you running your meetings with kids in the background when you're working from home, because that's the new challenges today.
I
I can
know,
remember
yeah.
clearly when I was working from home full time during the COVID era, and every 5 minutes you need to see the drama in my house. I'll tell the kids, hey, please keep quiet, and if I say anything they repeat it over and over, and it was just so funny. I don't know how you were able to cope. So tell us more about how you were able to manage that during the COVID era. Let's start from there.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me here again. My name is Adeswa. I think it wasn't so easy. Honestly, it was so challenging because during the COVID, my first son will be 5 next year. So during the
Wow.
COVID, that was in 2020, right? That was in 2020. So he was just about 2 or 3 thereabouts. So and then he was still at home. School just started. Oh no, he just started school. So then we had to do meetings, like you said. It wasn't so easy, honestly, because then I have to like, it's okay, 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 stop crying. I have to call my help because I have a very fantastic help at the house. So I'll call her, please, can you please just attend to him? And then when she's on and he's crying and he wants me to attend to him, I'll have to just like excuse myself for some few minutes and I'll quickly attend to him. Then I'll rush back. It wasn't, it's so easy, but then we were able to manage the whole scenario and went by. And when work to resume, I had to like resume immediately. And
Wow.
that's how it went. Then when I got pregnant again for my second son, because I actually have two sons. So when I got
Okay.
pregnant again for the second son, it wasn't so easy as well because then we had so much work to do in the office. And I'm in sales, and sales has to go on, production has to come in. So it wasn't easy doing presentations here and there, even when you're 8, 9 months pregnant, and I equally managed the branch in Makodi. And even at 8 months, I was still traveling to Makodi to handle things in Makodi. So the challenges will come, but then you just have to plan and be strategic about it and manage the whole situation. And things will go on, and before you know it will be a thing of the past. So that's it.
Thank you so much. And what about Benga? How were you able to cope then?
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Amoso, and lovely one at this one. I guess what, it wasn't an easy one. I remember one of the at that point during the COVID period, my bedroom happened to be my virtual office at that point in time. So I got so engrossed at work, and I remember I think one it was Timmy really. He spoke to me after a couple of I think weeks and said that you no longer play with us. You are focused on your job. That really, really touched me as a person. Really, that's okay.
Yeah.
Is it true? I've actually been dedicating time to walk. I think the only time you get to see me in the living room is probably when I want to listen to channel news. So I had to make adjustments. And I think what I did then was I had to change my office location to my vehicle. So they know if I'm at home, I'm at home. If I'm not at home, I'm not at home. So at that point in time, it was like Adesuwa said, it was challenging, but really we had to cope at the end of the day. Really, it wasn't an easy one, but at the point I sat them down and I explained to them, guys, once I'm at work, I'm at work. Once I'm at home, I'm at home. Like this live session, if I happen to be at home, they want to see who are you talking to on the system. They want to know who the person is. So we had to adjust like that.
Exactly.
It was a challenging experience on its own, really.
Thank you so much. You don't need to even stress much on that because trust me, during that COVID era, the kids started doing assignments in school. They needed to use your phone to do assignment, and that phone is also used to make office call. So you see, you are there trying to drag your phone from your kid and trying to make sure they don't break the phone because you have very important stuff on it. So moving on to the next topic, really, can you share with us what has been your sweetest and most challenging experience as a parent? And I'll let Adesua to start first. You are muted. Yeah.
Hello. Can you please come again? The line was not so clear. I didn't get what
Okay,
you
so
said.
I said that what has been your most challenging experience or rather moment as a parent, and what has been your sweetest moment as a parent?
Oh, okay. I think sharing events, like memorable events with them, and am I talking to
We
myself?
can
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now. We can hear you clearly
Hello?
now. Yes, we can hear you now. Yeah, you are muted.
You can hear me now. Wow, I was talking to
Yes, we can
myself
hear you
there.
now clearly.
Okay,
Perfect.
sorry, network. So I said I'm sharing special events, memorable special events with them. I remember when my son graduated last year from, um, wow. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so I said sharing special events with them because I remember when
Okay.
my first son finished from his kindergarten, and I was there, and I was so proud because then he was just like about three going to four. No, sorry, he was four. He's four. That was in last August, and he was able to read. That was so special for me. I felt so good. He could read very, very well. I was so happy because he actually he read some stories out to the public and they chose him in his class. And I was just looking at him like, wow, how you've grown from, I mean, you're just 4 years old and already you're doing this. I mean, you've gotten to this milestone. So it was something really huge for me and I really enjoyed that. That was one very special event for me. And also naturally seeing them succeed, going from one milestone to the other, and just being successful in everything they do.
Thank you so much. What about challenging moment? And I'd like Benga to answer this question. What has been your most challenging moment as a father?
Okay. All right. So there are so many, but I think for me, one of the challenging moments you can think of as a father is when you see bills. I think I have a close relationship to what Adeso actually said earlier. So convocation has been done for guys going from kindergarten, KG class, nursery school to primary school. So the first one was when my son was being given a speech, a whole 2 pages document to read off, and I was asking the man, these guys won't be able to read. And the guy presented very, very well during their last convocation. But while they're there, I saw the bills. So while everybody was happy, I was happy, but at the same time, I was looking at bills that, wow, these bills are growing. And, on top of my head, while jubilating with them, at the same time, you're looking at the bills, how we be able to foot this bill at the end of the day without affecting every other thing at home. So it's fun, but at the same time, challenges come. But you must be able to look at how can you get to be able to resolve them as early as possible. I think the a major one was actually my last son, which you mentioned earlier. It happened to be 19 months, not 9 years. When my wife actually broke the news to me that we're expecting, I said, "What are you expecting?" And she was like, "Another baby." Wow, we had planned. This wasn't part of the plan, but guess what? Challenges happen. How are you able to be able to cope with it and actually move on with it? So I think those have been the challenging moment, really.
Oh, thank you so much. I can imagine how you felt, because now we are still handling two of them, and then they add another one to it without without planning it. But it's okay. We would always survive. We would strive at every given point in time. Unfortunately, I don't have Adesua on the online again. So while we wait for her to come back on, I'll just move straight to the next question. And that question will be, we just concluded the summer. How were you able to navigate through? Tell us, can you please share some of your experience? Were you able to travel with your kids? And how were you able to cope, basically?
Well, summer came and went. A fantastic experience on its own. So for me, we didn't travel at all. Uh, I can actually say categorically, our traveling was to the two grandma's place because we knew we needed to be able to manage the funds available at that point in time. But guess what? Even though despite the fact that we didn't travel, the bills at home actually increased at that point in time. These guys, they eat like about 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. They want this, they want that. And once you are going to work in the morning, daddy buy this, buy that, buy this. I told them, guys, you need to start praying for daddy. Every time is buying, buying, buying. Pray for daddy and mommy to always for God to provide the way you guys are actually consuming. So one way or the other, I actually observed that the bills for the month
Hi
actually
guys,
increases.
sorry
Yeah.
Benga, sorry about. I'm trying to switch my network. Sorry, my network is really
All right.
messing up. So I'm trying to get
All right.
another network. Apologies.
No
All right.
problem.
So the bills at home actually increased, the provision, the toiletries actually increased, but at the same time, it is understandable. It was actually their period, and you needed to be there for them. So most of the events over the weekend, we get to be able to attend the event together. So that was how summer came on. Well, it was a fantastic period, really.
Okay, same here. We didn't travel. We had to improvise. Although we went to some nice places in Lagos. We went to Grandma's place, and of course, we spent some quality time together. I'm not sure if Adesua is able to hear us
Okay,
clearly.
so I'm back.
If you can hear me clearly, can you hear me?
Wow. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes,
Okay, awesome. Welcome back.
I
So
can
for
hear you
you,
now. If you can hear me,
okay, so
can you hear
just
me?
just to repeat, yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you.
Just to repeat the question, I'm not sure if you heard the question. I was just asking Benga to how he was able to navigate during the summer holiday, and he did share that he spent it
Well, I didn't get
with
the
his family.
question. Okay.
Okay, so the question was, I asked Benga, right, how did he spend the summer holiday? So for you, I would just like to, can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me very well.
I guess at this, I still experiencing network challenge at our hand, really.
Okay, I have some people dropping messages, and let me just say hi to them. Thank you for joining, Wale. Thank you, Pedro, for joining us. We are so excited to have you here, and thank you, Michael, for also joining the call. So while we wait for Adesua to sort out network issues, right? and that's part of the realities of today. You need internet to do your meetings, and you don't have control over it. So Binga, and just to kind of hear your views, what do you think about the view? Some people have this view that is the father that should be responsible, and some feel that it should be both. What is your view on this? Bearing in mind that, and some people don't even have these options to make, because probably it's just the father that is available to take care of the kids, and in some cases it's just the mother. So what is your own view about this? What's your take about it?
Okay. For me, thank you very much for the question. Also, for me, is it can be one size fits all in every situation. My own personal view, and I stand to be corrected, is both parents, where you actually have the opportunity, need to come together to be able to foot the bill, because it's actually have its advantages when you actually have the both parents working and they decide that this is what we intend to be able to achieve with regards to taking care of the education of the children. But for me, yeah, it has more of the advantages when both parents are working together and they decide to be able to foot this bill. Number one, it's actually ensure better financial footing and less financial stress, right? So in the recent time, with the recent economy we find ourselves in Nigeria, you hear a couple of arguments at home, and what is actually causing this? It's all about the bills, the bills, the bills. Who take care of the bill? And for me, when the two parents actually come together, it means more money, and this actually translates to higher quality care in terms of daycare, early education, sometimes private schooling, better healthcare sometimes, and more frequent vacations, rather than maybe a single parent. But sometimes you don't have control over that. Sometimes you actually find a situation whereby it's only the mother that is working, or probably it's the father that is actually working. But so, in my view, it is always better when the individuals, both the father and the mother, actually come together to be able to foot this bill at the end of the day. I don't know if that answers the question.
That does. Thank you so much. And I would like to just add some comment to it. I actually believe that both parties, where they are available, should take care of to contribute to it. If one is able to sponsor the kids to university, the other one can pay for vacation, and then they can have better quality of life. I'm not sure if the audience have any comment to this while we wait for Adesoa to come back on. I believe you are in agreement. Are you in agreement? Welcome, Lua Kemi, to this call. If you share a different view, you can just drop a comment so we can elaborate on it. So I share that perspective, and I can tell you that for my in my own case, both parents contributed. My mom did her own part, and my dad did his own part, and that was why I was able to achieve some of these key milestones in life. So where it is possible, I think both parties should play that role. And where you don't have that opportunity, hey, you just have to keep going and make it happen for your kids. And then that brings me to the next question. As a salary earner, how do we, because you know that the employer cannot keep increasing your salary, and even if they do,
Absolutely.
or is there anybody in the house that is getting, that has a trick of getting increment every month? I would like to know what you are doing so I can get some tips there. But please drop a note if you are able to, and change your salary every month, as in get salary review, promotion every year, every 6 months. It would be nice to meet you in person. Okay, but how do we cope? How do we manage it? And at what point should we start planning for the kids' education? Basically, what are your views?
Okay, it's like a 1,000,001 question, also trust me, but it's fine. I'll try to answer it as much as possible. So, as a salary earner, whose salary most likely remains static for months or years until probably you get promotion, number one, budget is very, very important. You can't go beyond your budget. You need to be able to live within your means, and it's a joint agreement where you actually have your spouse, right? Nothing is hidden really. So even if you get promotion, you call your spouse, promotion has increased, what do we get to be able to increase here at the end of the day, really. So you have the rent to pay, you have the children education to take care of, you have the upkeep. This part of the country we find ourselves whereby you need to be able to take care of the generator, service generator, pay for this bill, pay for, so everything you need to be able to budget. I hear one of my superiors at a point in time that you cannot control your income, it's only your expenses, which is your expenditure, you can actually get to be. And I've actually held that at my left hand for a very long time. So you get to be able to plan this. So you set aside those bills that comes in on a monthly basis, right? Whether you like it as a parent, you take care of each child for average of 18 years. You can't run away from it, right? So at the primary school level, at the secondary school level, at the tertiary institution. So you get to be able to plan for this. You need to be able to pay school fees 3 times or 4 times in a year, right? So outside the salaries, sometimes you may have to have, based on your mastermind, your colleagues in the office, you may have a joint contribution in place, right? And this is the period that these kids need to return to school. So it may be your rent, you need to be able to budget to the month, you may be taking your own trips, or probably it's actually the children school fees at this point in time. So it is important you're able to budget everything according to the timeline in terms of what you intend to be able to get. And when promotion comes, like I said, just plan, okay, what and what do you need to be able to increase at the end of the day. And also, it is also important you actually have education plan in place, which that Leadway will be there to be able to do for you. Guess what, Moso? Yesterday I got a mail from Leadway. I started one plan like last 3 years. Guess what? I've forgotten about the plan because I defaulted. And while I was still looking at, okay, where do I get the funds from? And they just say, okay, fill this form and you get this XYZ amount of money. I never budgeted for the fund, but guess what? I paid my premium over the period and I'm getting something at the end of it. So that's even has encouraged me to say, guys, let me look for another policy I need to be able to buy. But it's more or less like a miracle coming on its way. So what if I actually plan for this and I ensure that on monthly basis I set something aside as low as maybe 10,000, 20 or 30,000 naira, and I get to be able to live within the means of what I get as net take home a day. And there are some other ways you can actually also get maybe funds from. I have very good friends in legal assurance based on referral on some businesses, and you get some commission at the end of it. So you need to be able to do this in order to be able to achieve this at the end of it. I also have some other welfare packages in place you can easily run to maybe the cooperative sometimes, where you need maybe urgent funds to be able to take care of any bills that actually comes your way at any point in time. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, thank you so much. And I
Hello,
was
guys.
just,
I'm back.
yeah,
I'm back here. I just
awesome.
want to confirm if
Just,
anybody can hear me.
yes, we can hear you. And I was just itching
Oh,
when,
I'm so sorry. It's such a hustle.
no problem. But can you hear me?
I
Can
don't
you
know
hear
if
us?
Benga. I don't know if Benga is living in Nigeria and how his network is just so on point. I don't understand it.
All right, so you can see all the networks available. So you need to give it all
Benga,
a
trust
little
me.
bit.
I'm using Wi-Fi. I'm using Wi-Fi. I'm using my phone. I don't know what's happening.
All right,
In fact, I
all
had
right,
to change the network altogether. So I'm sorry. I know I've missed out a lot.
No
that's
problem.
fine.
I said Benga was just sharing with us how he got a message from Leadway and is expecting a large amount of money coming in unexpectedly, and that's really interesting. So, since you are back now and you can hear us clearly, I was just asking, as a salary earner, how do
Yeah.
I make it work for me? How do I run everything without being worried, overwhelmed with the challenges of running family, work, and everything and other things. So I would like you to share your perspective as a salary earner. The salary is static. How do I plan for the kids' education? What are the ways I can go about it? Hope you heard me clearly.
Okay. Yes, I did, with loud and clear. Okay, you know what?
Awesome.
I always advise people to anybody that can hear me. I always say at least save nothing less than 10% of what you earn. It's important. Put it aside as savings. Then you can do whatever you want to do with the rest. It's a given. It's a must. Always save minimum of 10% of what you're earning, because whether you like it or not, challenges will come. But how do you manage it? You have to plan. You just have to plan it out. And if you are saving that amount of money, That's something for you. And at the end of the year, when you look back, you realize you save up something. Because, for instance, I had a client that started a policy, one of our education policy, and he just started it just like that, and he was saving barely 10,000 naira. And when it got to the maturity, which is the end of the policy, I think it took about for 5 years duration or so. And when he saw the amount he had, he was like, "Wow, I've really saved up to this. Naturally, I'll spend this money, and I won't remember what I spent it on. But I mean, this is what I spent." So he had to like put back the money and started saving. Then he took it serious. So at the beginning, you may not think it's anything. 10,000, even if you are earning 10,000 naira, save 10% is 1,000 naira. Put 1,000 naira times 12. That's 12,000 naira. That's more than your average 1 month salary. So it's a lot. It will go a long way for you. It will go a long way for your kids. And we have various education plans that can suit anybody and everybody. So you don't even need to wait to have that millions, but what you are saving in trickles will give you that millions. So at the end of the day, you will achieve what you want to achieve, your target, or what you are planning to save up to. In just saving bit by bit by bit. It could be you could be saving monthly, you could be saving quarterly, you could be saving semi-annual, whatever is okay for your pocket. You just save. You just have to have a saving culture. If you don't have a saving culture, year in, year out, you'll be spending money anyhow. Year in, year out, everybody will meet you for complaints. Year in, year out, you'd have nothing to fall back on at the end of the day. Then you talk about rent. Then you talk about school fees. Then you talk about traveling. Maybe you want to travel for trips. We have plans that can cover these things and make it easy and smooth for you to actually go through these things. For instance, I think you were asking me a question a while back before my network went out. I remember before COVID, the year before COVID, I actually traveled out. And sorry, excuse me, because I had a plan already for my child, the plan helps me to actually save
We can't seem to hear you, but let's give her a few minutes. I believe she'll be back on. Thank you. Okay, so while we wait for her, Binga, while we wait for her to come back in, and she was just sharing tips about you need to start early. When did you start planning for your own kids? I just want to know. Let's even sample opinions. When did you start planning?
Okay, so my first champ, Timmy, I think we started. I would say we started late. We started on the naming ceremony. So all the money, all the gifts, and everything. So what we did was to be able to open an account in his name. So on monthly basis, what we decided to do, myself and my wife, we decided to be sending something on monthly basis to the account, right? So at the point we even forgot because we decided not to be getting a last notification, just not to be tempted at the end of the day, right? So when we needed to pay one of the bills, we had to fall back on the accounts. The last one, so the moment I got the breaking news for that year, right? I would say it's the COVID baby. I started planning as in my mindset the moment I actually got the news. So just had to be able to review the plan on board. The plan was for two, so at the point that we need to be able to add additional ones to it and just be able. So for me, it's better one get to be able to start at the early stage. No, even if you hear your spouse is pregnant, I think that's even the best time to be able to even start early for the kid. So there is no early time to be able to start than when you actually are aware. Even before you start giving birth, just start planning ahead of it. Now, okay, you need to be able to set this aside for these kids. This is the lifestyle you want to give them. This is the education you want to be able to give them in place. So it's always better. So for me personally, is when um, you actually get to know that your spouse is pregnant already. I don't know if
Okay,
that answers the
thank
question.
yes, thank you so much. And I would like to just share a personal experience. I didn't start before I didn't start before I got pregnant. So confession time, I didn't do that. But I can confess that I started when my son was 1 year. I started saving, but I didn't go about it the right way. I started saving the money in the bank. And after a while, I kept asking myself, this money is not increasing now. What's going on? What do I do with it? And then I heard about the educational plan. Guess what? I just deducted the entire fund and used it to buy an educational plan. So I'm using this opportunity to thank Leadway for showing me the way. I have a Leadway plan, and I can't wait for that years to run. If I'm counting, I've written it down somewhere, waiting for that money to mature. And I'm not going to close it. I'm not going to close it. No way. I'm going to do everything to save that money and pay that amount and make sure it works. So back to you, Adeswa. Welcome back. You were still drawing us through the various plans. So I'd like you to just pick up from where you stopped and tell us more about the plan. Thank you. I hope you can hear us now.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Awesome.
So as I was saying, I said, so we have plans where you can, like what you just said, you have a plan for your child, right? So I was going back to the first question you asked me before I went out. I remember we traveled before COVID, post-COVID, and just because of the fact that I had a plan, I had a leadway plan and education savings plan. It was easy for us to, because I am myself and my husband already, we started saving. In fact, let me tell you the truth. I actually started saving for my children even before I got pregnant. So here's the trick. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I
Yes,
can
we
hear
can
Okay,
you.
fine. Okay, beautiful. So here's the trick. So I had a plan for myself, okay, before I got married. And when I got married, I got pregnant, I put to bed. I transferred that policy I had for myself to my child. So there was already funds in the account. So I had enough funds in the account. So I transferred it for my child because first of all, the child has to be born. So you need the policy has to be for a named child. So I transferred it to my child. So I had enough money there. So and of course when we got married, myself and my husband, he started putting money as well there. So I just told him when it comes to trips, school fees, things like that, let's use this money for it. So whatever amount comes from my salary, I get some certain amount there. He does the same thing with his salary as well. So now we want to travel, we assess the fund because you are allowed to assess that fund on an annual basis. So I want to travel, I pick up some money from it. I want to pay school fees, it is not a hustle whatsoever. If I want to pay school fees on an annual level, on an annual every year, I just take money out of it and we pay the school fees. So every other money I earn, I can use it to plan whatever thing I want to plan. But when it comes to school fee trips that has to do with my son's immediate need, it is as easy as ABC. And for my second son as well, I just picked up another plan for him about 3 months back because he's 10 months. I picked up a plan for him when he was about 4 to 5 months. I picked up a plan for him, and we've started that process as well for him. Because whether you like it or not, next year or next 2 years, he's going to start school. So we should start saving for that now. So at that point, it will be difficult for us to start looking for school fees or start taxing ourselves or, oh, where do I get money from? And guess what? This thing is tax free. You don't pay tax for it. You don't pay admin charge on it. You don't pay VAT on it. It is what you see, that is what you get. So we have that immediate plan that helps you to meet the immediate need for your child or for your children. And we also have other plans for some people that say, oh, I don't, okay, fine. Even if I want to meet the immediate need, I equally want to meet like a future need. So I have a vision. I have a vision for my child to go to Harvard. I have a vision for my child to give him an inheritance. I have a vision for my child to probably give him a trust fund. This second plan is what you need. It's called the Leadway Target Plan. So you have that plan for your child or for your children. So you can use it to plan whatever thing you want to plan. So you can use it to plan whatever thing you want to plan. So you can use it to plan
I think we
Hello,
lost at
can you
this.
hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear
Awesome.
me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go on. I was just about
Beautiful,
interrupting.
beautiful.
Awesome.
Oh, okay, beautiful. So I said the second plan is the lead education target plan. So that's hello. Can you hear me, please? Can you confirm at any point?
Yes, I can hear you, and I'm just waiting to ask you more questions. Yes, I can hear you.
Can I go ahead? Can I go ahead,
Yes,
please?
please go ahead. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, beautiful. So I was saying the second plan is for people that not just want to take care of their immediate need, their children's immediate need, but they also want to take care of the children's future needs. So you're not just thinking about now, you're thinking about now, you're thinking about tomorrow, you're thinking about inheritance, you're thinking about trust fund. You are thinking about tertiary education, secondary education. So now, guess what? I have this plan actually helps you take care of all that for the child's future needs. So now, guess what? I have a client that has a child. I think the child is about 2 year old, and he wants the child to school in Harvard. So he gave me a rundown. Let's say, give or take, Harvard is going to be about 20 million. I said, okay, fine, that's good. So that's your target. That's what you are visualizing to pay for the Harvard school fees. Now, give or take inflation, this plan actually helps to take care of that as well at that time. So he's targeting 20 million, and the child is just 2 years old because this policy works with the age of the child. So if you are give or take, let's say in the next maybe 14 or 16 years, the child should be in tertiary education, right? So let's say 60 years. So he has about 14 years to go. So he's saving this plan, this money, these funds in trickles to achieve what? 20 million naira. But guess what? He's going to get more than 20 million naira at the end of the day. Is to save 20 million. But at the end of the day, you're saving for 14 years. You're probably going to get about 40 million on 20 million naira that you saved. Do you get that?
Wow.
Do you get that?
Is
Yes. And
yes.
also it doesn't stop there. Also, should anything happen to him while he's running this policy, remember, I said it's an endowment plan. But while he's running this policy, should anything happen to him, it could be death, it could be accident, permanent accident, it could be maybe the loss of his hand, the loss of his eyes, or something, or cancer, and he cannot continue to fund the policy. Leadway still gives him 20, whatever his targeted amount is, that 20 million leader is going to give it to him. Do you
So
understand
let
that?
me pause you. Yes, I understand. So if that person has only paid for a few months, will Leadway still give him or her that targeted amount?
If it's more than 6 months, yes. Because for
Wow.
instance, you have cancer. You can't come to us in 3 months and say I have cancer. Cancer don't just come like that. Do you
Exactly. Of
understand? So
course.
at least
I
there's a
understand that.
6 months benchmark. So once it's after 6 months, should anything happen after that, Leadway still gives him his targeted amount, what he was planning. We work with your vision. You are visualizing this for your child. You want to achieve this for your child. We make it our priority to make sure that you achieve that plan for your child. You want your child to go to Harvard? Yes, we're going to help you take your child to Harvard. Well, if you are there or not, we pray you are there at the end of the day. But even if you are not there, it doesn't cause any problem. Okay, take it up and give the child whatever your targeted amount is that you are planning to save. I don't know if you get me. Then now the third plan, because sorry, I didn't say from the beginning. We have the leader savings plan, we have the education target plan, and we have the education protection plan. The third plan is more like a protection plan, kind of. So it doesn't have any savings, it doesn't have any interest on it. It's more like a risk policy. So should that while you have a child in school and you want to take care of the child's need when you are not there, should in case you are not there, this plan actually helps you to take up that responsibility. So for instance, your child is in primary one and something happens to the parent while the parent is running this policy in primary one. Leadway is going to take up the responsibility to pay for primary two, primary three, primary four, primary five, primary six. So that current level of education will take up the fees for that. If the child is in JSS 1 and peradventure something happens to you, we'll take care of JSS 2, JSS 3, SS 1, SS 2, SS 3, or university, as the case may be. We take care of that particular level of education. Do you get me? And
Wow.
also, I forgot to, because the line it took me out. I'm not sure if you heard me when I was talking about the first one, which is the savings plan, the
Okay.
education savings plan. It equally has a life cover. What that simply means is that every fund you bring into Leadway, for instance, the 10,000 naira I use that as an example, you are saving 10,000 naira, a little fraction, very little fraction, probably like 100 naira or less, is being saved up for your risk, the risk component of that particular policy. Every insurance policy, every leadway policy has the savings element and the risk element. So that element has to be taken care of. You don't just go home with your beneficiaries won't just get your account balance if something happens to you. Your beneficiaries get your account balance and the life cover. And the life cover is a minimum of 500,000. So you can decide to go for 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, as the case may be. But for someone like you that you already have a plan, and at maturity you get both your account balance, your account balance, which is your capital, and your interest as of the time of savings. So we have policies that apply to everybody. So nobody can say, oh, I can't afford this, I cannot. You can afford anything. Even the education protection plan I just told you about, you can even pick it up on a monthly basis and you pay less than 2,000 naira or 1,000 plus. It is that cheap. So everybody can afford it. It is very cheap. You can afford any of our plans. They're actually very, very cheap and affordable.
Wow. This is getting interesting. I'm beginning to have some thoughts in my head right now. So does that mean that can I buy more than one plan for my son?
Very,
Can I
yes.
can I
Why
buy
not?
like three plans? And I know those are some of the questions people are eager to ask. I have a question in the comment section that says, and Zoe said, I started from the money we got as a gift during naming ceremony. That is very brilliant. Fola also is asking a question that can I get another 25% out of my money? I'm not sure I understand the question fully, but if you can make anything out of that, please, Adesua, you can help me to elaborate on it. Can I get another 25% out of my money? I'm not sure what that means. If
I
you can drop on
I don't know
comments.
what it means as well. I don't know what it means as well, and I don't know what she's talking about. So it's difficult for me to give an answer to that because I'm
Okay,
seeing
okay,
25%, and I'm thinking of pension. I'm seeing
Okay,
25%.
okay.
I don't know if you get
I
what
think
I'm
I have
saying,
an
right?
idea, but we expect
Yeah,
for Lat to
because I'm
actually
seeing
shed more light on
25%. I'm
that.
thinking of pension. Yeah.
Yeah, so you are entitled to be able to get 25% of your RSA balance after 4 months if you resign or you are being disengaged from active service. So if Fola can actually be try to be able to expatiate more in order to be able to shed more light on this question.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what,
Okay.
Adeso? I'm having a different thought right now. I think I'm rolling over. With all what you've said, Moso, I'm rolling over. I need to see Adeso and
Sorry,
the
come
other
again. I
person.
can't hear you. You need to see me. Oh, seriously, we
I'm
have to.
rolling over. I'm
You
rolling
just
over.
converted us. We are moving all our salary to buy the three products.
We are bored.
Yeah, seriously, I
Okay.
have clients that already started, and some of my clients will ask me, "Oh, but I already have savings in the bank." Come on, you have savings with the bank. That's like so different from what we have. The bank, trust them, they'll take admin charge. The bank will tax you or give you tax you on your plan, and equally, we have other forms of protection like other covers. We have we have a cover for permanent total disability, and we have a cover for critical illness. I mean, I mentioned it just like on the surface, but you can equally pick covers for that. So you are running a policy and accident happens. I mean, we don't plan these things. Accident happen. That particular amount that you covered for will be paid to you. So you have a cover for critical illness for 2 million. 2 million, it will be paid to you. So you have cover for so many things that the bank cannot even offer you. So I keep wondering, why will people go and save in the bank when, I mean, for your child, you're talking about your child who bank that will tax you on everything and will take so many. If you have 10,000, go and check tomorrow, you have about 8,000 something. They keep deducting, and you're telling me you're saving for your child. How? How are you going to achieve that purpose? It's
Adesua,
not so
I'm a
clear.
witness. Adesua, I'm a witness. I saved for 8 years and the money kept going down. Nobody told me. I just closed down that account and moved it to buy an education
Yeah.
plan. So and you don't need anybody to tell you that. You just have to get on board. And so there's more questions coming in. Is there a child plan for insurance? And explain the part about tax rebates, please. So let's go with, is there a child plan for insurance? Good. Can you hear me?
I'm so sorry if you can hear me. You have to
Yeah.
ask the question over and over again. I
So
didn't get you.
the
Sorry.
question is from Ayodeji. Is there a child
Okay.
plan for insurance?
Is there a child plan for insurance? Of course, there is. We have three of them, not one, not two, but three. Yes, there is. We have three of them. You can let us know what you want to go for, and then we'll advise you on what suits you best. So that's good. We
Okay,
have three of them.
awesome. And then we have Zoe. Zoe is asking, explain the part about tax rebate. I think this lady is trying to tap into that. Please, can you do justice to
Okay,
that?
fine. Yes. Why not? Okay, so some of our policies actually handle give people tax relief. Okay, so now take for instance, you have an endowment, an endowment plan, or which I initially called education target plan. So that's an endowment plan. You have an endowment plan. So let me just explain it so you get the picture clearly. So for instance, your salary is 50,000, right? And you are paying 20,000 naira to Leadway, right? For an endowment
Yeah.
plan. Do you get me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, we
beautiful.
can.
Now, if your salary is 50,000 naira and you're paying 20,000 naira on your endowment policy that you have with Leadway, for every 50,000 naira, of course, you know the government is going to tax you on 50,000 naira, right? But
Yeah.
now, what they will do is to deduct whatever fraction you are paying to the insurance company, which is what, 20,000 naira, and tax you on 30,000 naira. Do you get that?
So
So
in
you
a
have a
way,
tax relief from 20,000 naira.
and if you add back that tax relief back to what you used to
Can
pay
anybody
for
hear
that
me?
educational, yes, we can hear you. Hello.
Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We
Yes,
can
we
hear
can,
you.
Adesua. We can hear you loud and clear.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
can
can,
hear you.
Adesua.
Okay, so I said for every 20,000 naira you are paying to Leadway, and for every 50,000 naira you earn, 20,000 naira will be deducted from that salary of 50,000 naira, and you'll be taxed on 30,000 naira and not on the full total 50,000 naira. So you are equally saving on that other aspect.
So in a way,
Do you
if you
get it?
do the math, yes, I got it. If you do the math, maybe you paid 20,000 to Leadway. If you do the calculation of the relief you are getting back, maybe you're just paying like a 10 or 12,000 to Leadway because you've gotten that money back. Correct.
Exactly, you're getting the money back. Beautiful.
You
So you're
see,
getting the
so
money back. So in a way,
it's a
you're even
smart
cheating the
way.
government. It's a smart way.
It's
You
a
get
smart
me?
way,
So it's a
guys.
very smart way of saving.
We need to
Thank
work
you.
smart here.
Thank
We
you
need
for
to
that
work
question,
smart here.
Zoe.
Yes. So let's move on to the next question. Thank you, Ayomide, for the comment. This is very insightful. If nothing happens to the person using the education target plan after some years, does Leadway give the person any money? Somebody is wondering, okay, and nothing happens to me, so what do I gain really? Of course, we don't want
Okay,
anything to happen
Michael,
to
let me give
them,
you.
but what do they gain?
Michael, Michael, I took the purpose of saving this lead education target plan is for the future. Okay, we don't even want anything to happen to you. You're saving for your child's future. So certainly, let me give you a shocker. Now, let me give you an example. I like working with examples. So let me give you an example. So I have a client that wants to save a 20 million naira in 15 years. The child is a newborn child. So he wants to save for 14 years. I'm sorry, for 15 years for 20 million. Now he's paying about 70,000 naira on a monthly basis, right? At
Yeah.
mature, but by the time you time 70,000 altogether for 15 years, you are going to get about 7 million naira. Sorry, I think, yeah, they're about 7 million. No, sorry, about 12 million. So the 7 million naira on it is given to you by Leadway. All you are paying is 12 point something million naira. So the additional amount is the benefit you get for picking that policy. So you're not paying the total 20 million naira. You are paying 12 point something million naira in total for 15 years to get 20 million naira.
If you
So at
if you
maturity,
still be
you are going to get your 20 million naira. Bam.
so either ways you are losing nothing. What the difference is that if you anything happens to you, God forbid, if anything happens to you, you get the target amount. If nothing happens, good news, you
Yes.
don't get to pay everything. You just pay. Let me use the word shrinking money. Okay. Temi Tokwe is asking, can someone call me to explain so I can know which of the plan is best for me? Don't worry, we will get your details. I believe
Yes, we will contact you. Our team
somebody
will
is going to
contact you
call you,
definitely.
and trust me, you are making the best decision ever. Also, Temi Tokwe is asking,
Trust
can
me.
I get one plan for 3 kids or do I have to get for three? I get that. Remember the money, we need to share it across. How do we do it? How do we make it work? Because you don't want to give
Okay.
only one thing.
So I understand that. It depends on you. Like I said, it depends on your pockets, whatever you can afford. Insurance is for you to be able to afford what you can afford. We're not going to stress you. Just tell us what you can afford and we provide what you need. If you want to get one plan for 3 kids, why not? You can get one plan and use the 3 kids as beneficiaries. So all you have to do is to fraction out what portion goes for A, what portion goes for B, what portion goes for C. That's all. And you can decide to equally
Awesome.
pick 3 different plans for three of them. So it depends on you.
Oh, awesome. One more thing, Temi Tokwe, please go to www.leadway.com/education to request for a callback. Okay. If you do that right now, somebody will call you back. Temi Tokwe, I hope you
Someone will
got that.
attend to you, yeah.
Yeah, somebody will attend to you. So do that really quick. Thank you everyone. I don't know if there are any more questions from the audiences, so we can trash it out. So, guys, you really don't need to do. In fact, personally, I have a plan, and now I'm already thinking how I'm going to get more plan for them. We need to
Call me.
make sure use everything you have to get what you want, right? And most importantly, thank you so much. Any advice from the guests? I would like Benga to go first. This is what I've said a lot.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Like I said, I'm rolling over based on the experience of what Adesua shared earlier. It's possible for us to be able to achieve that desired lifestyle for our kids, for the unborn kids, right? All we need to just be able to plan accordingly. Out of that amount of money you are getting a month, just make provision and set something aside for them to be able to achieve that best education, the best care, the best vacation they actually want, that you actually desire for yourself and also for them. And leave me within your budgets. Don't go above your budget, really. Work hard, play hard, grow on the job, and also give back to the children and also back to the society. Thank you very much, Musu. Thank you, Adesua.
Thank you. Adesua, any final words? I know you said a lot, and in
Yes.
fact, I'm coming to see you later.
No problem. Yes, my final words is this. Please, like I said earlier, no matter what you earn, have something, save up something. No matter what it is you're earning, even if it's 1,000 naira, 1,000 naira, save 100 naira, save something. At the end of the day, you won't regret it. Your kids will appreciate you. You will appreciate yourself, and you feel fulfilled. And you just have like you feel relaxed and fulfilled, and your mind will be at peace. It's always good to plan. It's always good to save, regardless of the amount. It's not so difficult to save 1 million naira if you start saving in bits and start saving on time. Planning is the key. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. So guess what? Your son, your daughter can still go to Harvard University if you plan,
Yes.
if only you plan. Okay. So closing remarks. For more information, right, on any of our education plan, please go to www.leadwayassurance.com or send us a DM at Leadway Assurance on Instagram and on Twitter. Let me just check if there are any final comments from the audience. So please make sure you contact us. You can see it on the screen, www.leadway.com/education, and request for a callback. Guys, take advantage of this opportunity. You can't afford to just save that money in the bank because it doesn't work. Use it for your own good and plan ahead so that if anything happens, your kids can still get the best of education. Thank you very much for listening, and we're so glad. You can also send us a DM. Once again, I'm repeating that. You can send us a DM at Leadway Assurance on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on Twitter at Leadway Insure, right? Please engage us, speak to us, engage us, and pick up a plan today. Thank you so much for joining once again. We really appreciate your time. Latif, we see you. Thank you for joining. Michael, thank you for joining. Joshua, thank you for joining. Kende Ojapa, thank you so much for joining. Oluwakemi, thank you for joining. Temi Tokwe, thank you for joining. I hope you've sent. I hope you fill the form on our website. Thank you so much, everyone. Ayomide Zu, Ayodeji, Fola, Bridget, Special. We are so happy to have you. Thank you for taking our time. Oti, we see you. Thank you for taking our time to attend to this program. And we look forward to engaging you more. And we look forward to making the realities of working as a parent on that static standard, making it work for you. Thank you so much, Adesua. It's been nice speaking with you, and it's been so nice getting more information from you. And I look forward to engaging you after this call. Please get ready to sell more product. And Gbenga, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. I do have a lovely day. If there are any comments, you feel free to use a few minutes to drop a note. Thank you so much.
We all have dreams. Dreams to become someone. Not just anyone. Someone like her. And him. Someone like her too. So when life happens and things start to shake a bit, nothing should get in the way of their dreams. Life happens, but that shouldn't affect their dreams. Secure their future with any of the Leadway education plans today.
My name is Bumi George, aka J Booms. I'm the current CEO of Shredder Gang, a wife and a mom of 2 powerful boys. My favorite part about being a mom is all the love I get to give and receive, and then putting the right values in my children, which in turn gives us a better society. My children are already very vocal about what they want to be when they grow up, seeing that they're only 6 and 4. My first says he wants to be a pilot, just like his dad, and my second says he wants to be a surgeon. And so my goal for them and my dream for them is to get them there the best way possible. Good education is a necessity. My husband and I decided that we were going to start planning from the onset. So we approached Leadway and they gave us 3 plans. We went with the target plan, which is basically setting a certain amount of money as a target. Every month, a certain amount is taken out of our account towards that target. So it instills discipline for us, making sure that we get to that target goal. What I really liked about this particular plan was that there's a protection element to it. So even if life happens, the children are still protected and they still get the target sum for their education. Our children are probably maybe toddler age or early school age. And you know how much you're paying right now. Now imagine in the next 15 to 20 years, how much it would be for them. So start planning now. If you really want to plan and stick to it, getting an education plan is the best way to go. You can contact Leadway Assurance either on Instagram or Twitter, or you can visit their website at www.leadway.com/education to get a call back.